Well, again, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to me, your lovely host, Christian Lawson. It's so great to be with you here today for another political analysis. As always, I hope all of you are doing good, I hope all you are doing well. Hope you're not letting this tumultuous and perilous period in which we exist shadow your perception of the world. Remember, the world is good, you are good, the world is objective, it exists outside of us, and you should always let that inspire you to be the best person you can and to take this world by the horns. Speaking of horns, the left is showing it. The left is showing their horns. So essentially, what's happening right now? It's equivalent to a bull cage match, and the bull has been sneering at its nostrils the entire time, and it's just been preparing to go and run roughshod over you, and you've just been sitting there staring at the bull, commenting about the bull, and just attacking the bull for what is evident. But you missed what is hidden. And right now, what was hidden, what was unseen, has now become seen. The Democratic Party and the left in general are now cannibalizing themselves amid Joe Biden's win. It was revealed last Thursday in a House caucus meeting that centrist Democrats in the United States House of Representatives have tried to say to their socialist colleagues they don't want to talk about socialism anymore. In fact, one representative even said, we don't want to even hear the word anymore. We don't even want to say the word anymore. And that's going to cost the election. So, of course, AOC's predictable response, she was not happy. And she said that it's bad to be throwing fuel on the fire amid already running rampant divisions. Of course, Joe Manchin did just that. Joe Manchin, the senator from West Virginia, made a tweet, so to speak, about defunding the police, where he said, no, we're not going to defund the police. We're going to defund, well, and then he referenced his buttocks area, which I won't quote the entire thing because it's really unsophisticated. But his point was actually pretty intelligent. But that intelligent point was lost amid the fact that there is absolutely no difference between Joe Manchin and AOC. There is no difference between a centrist Democrat and a socialist Democrat. There is no difference between a centrist leftist and a socialist leftist. That's why they're fighting. There's not much of a difference, and they are putting up a front to make it seem, perhaps unintentionally, that there is a difference. There's no difference because they are all united by one singular metric by which they seek to propagate their political wills: coercion and force. Leftism, progressivism, socialism, centrist Democrats, all of them have predicated their policies and their policy plans on the unmitigated admission and commission of force. When Joe Manchin says we're going to protect working families, what he means is he's going to put the government into the lives of the economy, into the lives of many middle-class people, into the lives of people who he arbitrarily deems working families, and then have the government try to direct their destiny. Through force. Through guns. Through coercion. When AOC said that she wants to preserve the environment with her obtrusive, illogical, irrational fever dream, the Green New Deal, all she's saying is that I'm going to use the government to execute force in this sector, and this sector of life. They differ in ends, kind of, but not in means. And when you have the same means, and you have similar, distinct, but not the same ends, you end up with a lot of the same product. There is absolutely no difference between a socialist and a centrist in their methodology, in their effects. It is the same exact thing, and if you want to understand the truth about these things, you have to harvest the fire of truth that Prometheus bequeathed upon humanity, that the founders took and kindled the flame of liberty in Constitution Hall when they conceived of that divine document which enshrines our natural rights into law. You have to take all of those substances and then blaze them forth into your faculty of reason to understand these things. Because guess what? people look at Joe Manchin, and there are people on the right saying, oh, Joe Manchin, he's a hero, he's great. But if you actually look at his policies, he supports Planned Parenthood, so he hates life. He supports all kind of obtrusive working programs that actually impose upon the will of the producer and the consumer, which are a symbiotic relationship. But no, he doesn't get this. He only understands force. He only understands the idea of a divine government. But government is not divine, my friends. Government is not the end-all be-all. And force is not a way to actually make change. It is a way to retrograde the human condition and make American politics into something that is not meant to be, and make our political issues simply sit into a bucket of sterility. A bucket of sterility. Infertility. That's why the left is cannibalizing itself right now. Because they don't understand anything else except force. Except messianism in the form of Uncle Sam. Yes, factionalism happens on both sides, the right and the left. But the factionalism on the right, with very few exceptions, is not about how can we control this or how can we execute this through government authority better. It oftentimes is about a distinction of ideological frameworks and worldviews, many of which don't contain the necessity of force. Whereas on the left, there's not a difference of world, there's a poverty of values, a misunderstanding of how human beings actually exist, how they actually work, how we're supposed to reach that eudaimonia that Aristotle mentioned to flourish, that Locke understood, that Madison understood, that Hamilton understood, that all these people understood and mentioned in their discourses. As Emanuel Swedenborg, that brilliant philosopher and mystic, said, we have to understand the arcana of the word. So if I think that words simply mean what they appear to mean, and I don't give any investigation to them, I don't understand the words, and I operate in a mundane mindset. I operate in a limited mindset. Stop limiting yourselves. Stop focusing on what it appears to be and actually investigate with your faculty of reason, with your faculty of inquiry, to see what it means. There is a truth in this world. There is a single truth in this world that we are all fighting to get to, and get to it faster by not letting sophistry woo you, not letting appearances woo you, not letting superficial stuff woo you, and instead allowing the truth to take you and to capture you and to make you its chief emissary on this earth. Alright, I gotta go, but I love all of you, and as always, please guys, keep your eyes out and stay pensive. Love you.